Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. It is March 25th, 2022. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of achieving a healthy weight. If you do enjoy my video, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also, click on the bell icon so you'll get notified when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me live at 4 p.m. most weekdays, or outside of my live streams, you can consider joining our Discord channel. There's a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you're interested in getting some ideas of the meals that we eat on our diet, we have created a Pinterest board, and there's a link for that down in the description below as well. Today is day 510 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. Carrie's checking in saying hello, happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday to everybody. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food plant-based SOS free diet to lose over 210 pounds so far. I still have a little over 19 months to go, and I hope to lose most of that 300 pounds before the end of 2022 so that I can maintain that weight loss through 2023 and then hopefully for the rest of my life. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories, how you're doing on your diets. If you've fallen off your diet, what are you going to do to get back on track? If you haven't started yet, what are you going to do to get started? What hurdles are keeping you from getting started from your own personal weight loss challenge? And, how can you make your new diet easier than the alternative? Anthony's also checking in saying hello. Hello, Anthony. I hope everything's going great with you today. Let me switch over to the main page here. Oh, man. Yesterday, I ate so much food. Carrie had made that chili from the Plant Powered Families recipe, or the book that we have, and it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Anything after you haven't eaten for 56, 57 hours is going to taste good or better, right? That's the plan. But no, it was really a great dinner last night. I ended up having 2 bowls of that, which was filling in itself probably, but then I also threw in some Ezekiel bread with nut butter because I figured, heck, I hadn't eaten for 2 days. It's not going to hurt me to eat a little bit of extra. I also had cashews and oranges and cherry juice and mango, all that stuff last night. Just putting on a feed bag, I suppose. It was good to eat, get a full belly, but it's crazy the digestive issues that it ended up creating. I guess before all of this started, I just kind of thought you ate food and your body forced that food through your system. And I suppose that's what happens in a way, but I feel like now I have a little bit different grasp on how food works or how it acts in your body. And it is more of like a gravity fed machine, or similar to like if you're going to fill up, you've seen images of people filling up sausage links inside the skin, and the the food that's in the processor can only get out into the casing if you add or you're pushing more food in, or you're pushing, using a device to push it through. And our digestive system is a little bit the same in that, uh, yeah, it doesn't say there's any issues here, so I'm not sure. The When you eat some food, it goes into your stomach and then it gets into your intestines and it processes through your body. But it didn't really dawn on me before that your body wouldn't push out old food until new food came in. And so when I fasted, I put food in and it did push the excess food that was in my system. But then at a certain point, when there wasn't more food coming in and there was nothing to push that food through, then that food kind of stays in your digestion tract in your body. I would imagine holds on to it for as long as it can and uses as much nutrients as it can get from the food that's still there, because it's waiting for more food to show up to help push what's in there through and then to also produce more nutrients. And so because I fasted for a couple days, I got most of the food out of my system. And then really yesterday I didn't have to really go to the bathroom much until I got home and I started eating. And then once I put a little bit of food in my body, I was probably, I don't even know if I was all the way through dinner, and I was like, "Oh, I should probably go to the bathroom." And so I did, and so that um new food helped, push my body to get rid of the old waste. But one of the things that also has happened is that there must be air that gets into your system too when you have that process go through, because I just felt like I was really bloated or gassy today, especially this morning. When I got up, my stomach almost hurt. I kind of thought maybe I had overdid it last night and eaten too much food, which I probably did. But after getting to work this morning and going to the bathroom a couple times in the first half of the day, my digestion feels a lot better. I've still been fairly gassy, which I can, like I said, I imagine that that's just because that there was air in that system, or I don't know how uh, that exactly works, but I have been a bit gassy. Anthony says I'm coming in great, so not sure. You might have to reset on your end, Carrie. I know our internet was not the greatest this morning. I don't know if that got fixed or not. So last night, like I said, I felt like I ate a lot of food, but in the whole kind of scheme of things over the last 3 days, that was, probably less than half of the food that I would have eaten over since Tuesday morning if I would have been eating regularly uh, before my weigh in. And then after that, this morning, we had oatmeal. We ended up having a spinach oatmeal, essentially. Uh, Anthony says that he had real food today, and the gut is protesting might be too much water. Yeah. I'm not sure what the real food you had today versus the normal food you have is. But that was the first thing that I did this morning too, was to drink a bunch of water, because I I don't, again, I'm just learning a lot about the digestive system, or I thought I knew a lot about it and I'm learning more about it now. But um that was kind of what I was thinking, was that, I might have eaten a lot of dry things last night, especially the Ezekiel bread I had. And so if I drank some water, hopefully that would kind of help lubricate the system or help break down or soften what was ever causing me issues in my stomach this morning. So hopefully, you know, get past it, or you're able to process it and move on. Cause like I said, this morning I felt really awful. Like, and I even like, I, I ate more this morning than I planned on eating, or I guess not planned on, but I ate more than I I don't know how to explain it. I could have eaten less and still been happy, but I decided to kind of push through any discomfort I had with the food from last night, because the way my schedule works is that if I don't eat breakfast, I don't have access to food until dinner pretty much. And even further is that I mostly dry fast during the day. It's not really an intentional thing, and I never get thirsty during the day that I need water. I do have a jug of water here, so I can drink that if I need it. But for the most part, when I'm at work, I just focus on work stuff. I don't worry about eating or drinking fluids at all. And then I get home and I eat plenty of food at night. Um, And so let's see. Carrie says that that's what keeps me on track is that even the vegan junk food has caused her issues. Yeah. Especially, I talked about it yesterday a little bit in that, like when I have a little bit of salt, I notice the swelling kind of hits me right away. And it takes a couple days for that swelling to go down. And it's weird because I used to always be in a state of maximum inflammation throughout my body. And so now that I can tell the difference, it's pretty crazy. Uh, for just something as simple as just a little bit of food. So that was the breakfast this morning was spinach oatmeal for breakfast this morning, a little bit of cherry juice. I don't know. I like cherry juice. It's something different. It wasn't anything that I ever had before, but I uh I like it because it's got, you know, supposed to have anti-inflammatory properties, and that's the biggest reason why I started drinking it. And I really started drinking it when I was doing my training for the sprint triathlon last June. That's where I got into starting with the cherry juice, and now it's just become a regular thing. Even when I was fasting, I was juice fasting for those 2 days, I guess, because I was drinking cherry juice and a little bit of apple juice because we have that around as well. I was going to talk about the word diet today. I saw a post on Facebook or something that it's actually the quote I have on the thumbnail for today's video, and it's that the quote is junk food is so common that when somebody starts to eat healthy, it's instantly labeled as dieting. And it's an interesting quote. It's absolutely true. But what it kind of brings to my mind is how this word diet has become a four-letter word. Nobody wants to say the word diet. And we need to change our thinking about the word diet. And I've always kind of the thought of diet, as the food that you eat. I would make a joke a lot of times if somebody would say, "Hey, maybe you should consider going on a diet, or are you on a diet?" And I would always say, "Yeah, you're always on a diet all the time." And I would say, "My plan for my diet is to die eating." And it's kind of a morbid joke, but that's probably what I was gonna do up until I started this challenge, is that if I was gonna die, I was gonna die while I was eating. But we have to change our thinking about the word. And I looked up the definition of diet because there's a few different definitions. And the first definition that I kind of just talked about is the noun. A diet is the kind of food that a person or an animal or a community habitually eats. So you're on a vegetarian diet or you're on a vegan diet. It explains the type of foods that those populations eat. The other definitions of diet, which are the ones we most commonly think of, is like a special course of food to which one restricts itself either to lose weight or for medical reasons. So I'm going on a diet. Or the other definition is the verb, to restrict oneself to small amounts of special kinds of food in order to lose weight. So it's difficult to diet. Um, and those last two definitions are definitely the most common ones that we think about. And when you think about diet in that way, the first thing you usually think of is bland and boring food because, and you think that the whole experience of dieting is going to be tedious and unpleasant. And you think of deprivation and hunger and restriction. And in because you think about diet in those ways, you also create these memories of the discomfort from those past diets, that they were usually boring or tedious or unstable, and generally unsuccessful. It stirs up all these negative feelings of dread and doom and makes you feel defeated before you even get started on your diet. And the word diet becomes just like all the other four-letter words. You're afraid to say it in a crowd. You don't want people to look at you funny. You don't want to say it to a loved one because then they're gonna want you to, they may want you to start your diet, that you haven't been doing. But we really have to change our thinking when it comes to the word diet. We have to change our mindset. You need to be proud to talk about your diet. You shouldn't be ashamed to talk about it. You should be able to stand in front of somebody and be confident and be happy about what your diet is, the way I'm eating. And you need to make diet the habitual, the habitual part of that first definition, the kinds of food that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. So you need to make your diet what you eat all the time. And the word diet shouldn't carry all the weight it does. We have to remove that power from the word, the power that it has over our mind. You have to change the way you define diet, and you have to embrace that first definition. Kind of food a person, animal, or community habitually eats. Your diet, food you habitually eat. My diet now is a whole food, plant-based, no added salt, oil, or sugar diet. Those are the foods that I will habitually be eating from now on. And, I may have removed some items from my diet. I'm eating less meat and animal products, but I increased the number of plants that I eat by tenfold. I removed 4 items from my diet. Well, 7, but the I essentially 4 animal products from my diet. I got rid of cow, I got rid of pig, I got rid of chicken, and I got rid of dairy. Those are kind of the main things I got rid of. And then before I started this diet, the only veggies that I really ate were like white potatoes, onions, mushrooms, corn, and beans. Just kind of the standard things that people eat. Now I eat all of those things, all those veggies that I used to eat, but I've added so many more. Like avocado, carrots, cauliflower, chickpeas, celery, spinach, tomatoes, lentils, rice, oatmeal, kale, bell peppers, zucchini, and a variety of seeds. That's just some of the things that I've added to my diet that I may have had those here and there before, but now they are habitual parts of my diet. I have had chickpeas or garbanzo beans, whatever you want to call them, 5 times in the last 8 days. I've eaten spinach in my meals 4 times in the last 8 days, probably, and so those are the things that are in my meals all the time. It's not a piece of cow every time I eat. And because I shifted from that animal-based product diet to a plant-based diet, I've changed the calorie density of the foods I've eaten. And so that allows me to eat that same volume of food as I did before I started my diet. I get to eat that same volume and I don't have those additional calories. So I don't feel like I've restricted myself because I get to go to bed with a full belly every night. And that's what you guys should be striving towards, is lowering that calorie density so you can still eat that satisfying amount of food. Just need to make it better foods. So like I said, we have to change our mentality about the word diet. We have to not be afraid to talk about the diet, because that's where these junk food industries get their power, is by getting you to not talk about diet. They gain market share every day. People don't talk about the foods they're eating, because when you're not talking about the food you eat, then you aren't ashamed about the food you're eating, because you don't have to present it in front. You don't have to talk about it in front of anybody. I mean, the number of times I ate in my car by myself and then nobody would ever know I ate it. I mean, It's all, I mean, I've the this is a story I don't even know. I hadn't thought about it, but like in the past, when me and Carrie weren't eating the same way, maybe she was trying to eat healthier and I didn't care as much. If I was coming home and I knew that I wasn't going to love dinner, I might stop at the gas station and grab a couple extra things because I can eat it in secrecy with nobody knowing and then come home and eat more food. But then, uh, and so, anyways, I got sidetracked there. My biggest thing was that these industries that are creating these foods that we eat, they don't want you to talk about your diet. They don't want you to talk about a diet that succeeds. They want you to just eat the foods that they're trying to sell you and then try to go run that food off at the gym or to eat less of that food this week than you did last week. And it's just not sustainable. Um, so we really have to make the word, uh, Carrie says here that grocery pickup and delivery also has created less shame about what we're eating because you don't even have to walk through the grocery store anymore with the bag of Oreos in your cart. You just make the online shopper or the person that's working the store, they're the ones walking around with the cart that has all of the junk food in it. Now all you have to do is drive up and pop your trunk and let them throw it in and off you go, you know. Um so yeah, I could see that. Um the So, yep, we have to quit making diet a four-letter word. You have to be proud of your diet. You have to be proud to talk about it. And you have to realize that your diet is the food that you habitually eat. When you are eating fast food and you're eating stuff from the gas stations, you are on a junk food diet. You're on a diet now. If you're sitting there going, man, I can't get my diet started. I can't get it going. Guess what? You're already on a diet. You're on a high sugar diet. You're on a high fat diet. You're on a high calorie diet. The way you're eating right now is a diet. You are dieting and you might die eating because of the diet that you're eating. So, um, that's the word diet a lot in like 4 seconds there. So I'm going to try to limit that for a minute. Hold on. Just reset. All right. So don't be ashamed of what you eat. I'm not ashamed. I will talk about it and I eat it in volume. I had 2 bowls of food last night. I've had 8 slices, actually, probably 9 slices of Ezekiel bread since I was on stream yesterday. I don't feel guilty about it. I don't feel bad about it. I mean, low sodium Ezekiel bread, to most people is as close to cardboard as you get. For me, I get excited about it because I've changed my mentality on it. I embrace the food that feeds me and I eat to live, not live to eat, you know. The food I eat is to get me to the next meal or to get me through the day. It does not have to be a knock your socks off the greatest thing I've ever tasted meal. And that's what we get too caught up in. We try to eat like kings. We try to eat this highly processed foods because it makes us feel so good. That's not what you want in your diet. Your diet should help you survive longer, not just feel good for the next 10 minutes, but feel good for the next 10 years. So that's kind of my rant about how the word diet has become a four-letter word. You need to realize that you are on a diet right now. Even if it's not a good diet, it is a diet. It is the food that you habitually eat. And if you habitually eat junk food, you're going to become junk. So change your diet right now. Okay, so this weekend, I don't think we have anything big going on. I don't know. I don't make the plans. I have to work tomorrow, of course. Work has been getting extremely busy. and it's only going to get busier as we get into the summer, but it's a good thing, not a bad thing. Um, but I will be back on Monday, and next week should be kind of as planned. Gonna be like my 17th month weigh-in next Wednesday, which is kind of cool that I've been doing this for almost a year and a half. 17 months is pretty close to a year and a half. Which at a certain point here in the next few months, I'm gonna end up being at like a year longer than I've ever done or stuck to any diet plan. But Carrie says we have no plans, a little bit of stuff to do for our nonprofit for the fundraiser. Yes, got that coming up. Or yeah, we got pack diapers and to get ready for the fundraiser. Yes, we got a busy week at the end of next week. Hopefully I'll be able to stream throughout next week. I'll definitely be on Monday. I'll definitely be on Wednesday. And if I'm not, I'll let you guys know. I did want to real quick thank a couple people, because there's people that check out my stream, but then there's also people that make comments on my streams after the fact. And so I did want to say thank you to Dare Jones and Rosemary. I'm going to say it's Keeley. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your last name, but I really appreciate your guys' support and watching my videos and making comments and letting me know how your experiences and sharing with me through the comments. So I just want to thank you guys as well. I'm going to get out of here, guys, but make sure you get subscribed to my channel. Click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live. Click on the links down below. A couple links I didn't talk about earlier. There's a link to an interview I did with the Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. If you get a chance to go check out that interview, I'd really appreciate it. And then it also give you kind of more history on me or more about my kind of challenge so far. And then there's a link to a weight loss support group called Food Ways with Chef Dell. It is a neat community that was created for people who are eating a whole food plant-based diet. They have different sections for recipes and different sections for weight loss advice, and then another section for just if you're looking to just eat this way, because eating a whole food plant-based diet isn't a weight loss thing. It is a healthier lifestyle thing. And the side effect of this healthier lifestyle is this weight's falling off of me. So that would be another thing that if you're looking for a support group or community, that's a neat place to go and check out. Anthony's saying, have a good weekend. You too, Anthony. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope that your digestive issues go away, get some water in you, and hopefully they go away. Let's see. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. If you haven't started your new diet yet, because you were already on a diet, it was just a crap one. If you haven't started your new diet yet, what's keeping you from getting started? Get started right now. There's no reason to wait. Nobody gets to the goals that they set for themselves and looks back and says, man, I wish I would have waited another week, or I wish I would have waited a little bit longer. I don't know why I was in such a hurry to lose all that weight. Nobody ever says that. Everybody looks back and says, what was I thinking? Why didn't I start sooner? So get started right now, because you won't regret it. And don't fall for the two myths of moderation. The myth of moderate change, that you can just slowly start changing what you eat and eventually you'll get to this new ideal diet. It may work for some people, but for a lot of people I've found, or I see, that making a big switch, going cold tofurkey, is the way to go. And a lot of times, I see these videos of people that they suggest, changing little things at once. And then they go, but I didn't do it that way. I did it right away. But I think that the easiest thing for people to do is to switch slowly. Well, if you didn't do it that way, then why do you suggest people do it slowly? I didn't switch to this diet slowly. We made the decision one time, and we only had to make the decision that one time. And from there on, we were eating a plant-based diet from now on. Also, the myth of moderate consumption. just eat less calories, just eat less food, you'll lose weight, eat half a portion instead of a full portion. Only eat half of that stuff that causes cancer and heart disease and strokes and all these other things. Only eat a small portion of that, because then you'll start losing weight, but it's not sustainable. Your bodies aren't designed to eat half a portion of food. Your bodies aren't designed to eat um, a little bit. Your bodies are designed to eat full stomachs worth of food. So don't fall for the myths of moderation. You guys all have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday.